What's up, friends? Hope you're having a great weekend so far, and looking forward to Monday. And let's take a look here at JASMY now and see the recent updates that we had from our previous video. So we know that in our previous video we talked about the zones of 0.0174, which was very important because we stated that we were under the 50 MA, as you can see here, and we wanted to see some price action happen right under. We created here a demand level at about 0.0174, like we stated, and this level is very crucial because you can see here the demand. We saw imbalance at these areas which needed to be filled, and as you can see here, rejected at these levels of the 50 MA, and therefore you can see a price right after came back down, as you can see here, created another level here before we broke the structure to the downside in the bearish side here, and we created another fill in area at the levels of demand, as you can see here. So right after, we can see that JASMY was in the uptrend. We broke out of these zones, came back at these levels of demand, and then respected these zones. And right after, we have here a level of resistance that is very crucial because we could see that we had here a lot of gaps in the 50 MA and also the levels that JASMY was at. So just know when there's a gap like this, it's important that the trend is very strong. But also, if it's best if you're in the project already and not just trying to catch the levels here when there's a lot of gaps. It's better when we come back here. As you can see, we were in the uptrend for JASMY at about 0.0192. We created an uptrend here before we finally broke it. You see this selling volume was at a level of resistance that we had before. So at about 0.0266 was the recent resistance level that we had, which price tested several times. You can see the wicks here in the bearish side. We went up there twice before we saw some rejections happen. So far, we were respecting the levels of uptrend, as you can see here. So the momentum was strong. We had here a big push, as you can see, where we broke the levels of resistance that we had before, which was very crucial, guys, because if you take a look here, what I wanted to see for JASMY is actually create a support level at the recent resistance that we had. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. As you can see, JASMY rallied back down before retesting back at about 0.0267, which was the levels that we had before, which was resistance. We came back there, retested several times before we broke the structure. Now we have here a level of recent resistance that needed to be filled in back. So if we do scroll in, we can see that after we broke this recent structure of liquidity here, there was a liquidity grab. We saw price come out of these uptrend that we saw here, retest back at these areas of uptrend that we had before going back down. We also created a level of resistance, short-term resistance at about 0.024. This level is very critical because as you can see here, with these level here, we could see that price reacted off of this zone several times. Once we broke this level, I stated that we want to see some support being created at the 50 MA. As you can see here, the support is being respected as of now, and it's really good. I like seeing JASMY in this uptrend, as we can see. But just keep in mind, we are once we broke this little bit of a downtrend, it wouldn't be smart to get into JASMY right away. We wanted to see the price here in the demand area being filled back in, which is exactly what happened. We saw price react off of the 50 MA before coming back down at the levels here, creating a very heavy demand levels at about 0.0224, which gave me influence that we would see JASMY go back up and rally back up. Just keep in mind we had here a double top at the areas that we currently are reaching at, and as you can see from doing the video, we are reaching that level again at the levels of 0.0248, which we saw price react off of these levels several times. As you can see here, when we zoom out, we can see that this price here was reacted several times. We can see here at these levels, we had a recent resistance. We tried to break that level of resistance where we saw a break and a retest to the levels of recent resistance that we had at about 0.028. So just keep in mind, this level was very crucial because we are reacting off of these levels so far, and it's critical because we are under the it's right under the 50 MA as well. Just keep in mind, we saw some rejections right now with JASMY at the 0.0249, which was a recent resistance that we had before, which like I stated, price tried to react off of these levels, came back and tested the levels of support that we have here before going back up to the uptrend, filling in the gaps that we have at 0.0267. You can see here the wicks is filling the gaps that we had here at the levels of resistance before we finally saw a break again to the bear side. Just keep in mind, there's a critical level of support at the 50 MA, and we can see the JASMY wick down here to the levels of demand so far as of now. We could see a retracement back for JASMY since we are about 2% up today. So we could see a retracement back to the 50 MA at 0.0238. And depending on how we react from this level, it will be very crucial because we can see here this price was the recent resistance that we had before and also a demand level that was created right after. Depending on how we react from this level, we could see another retracement back to 0.0249. And depending on how we break this level, instead of creating a double top, hopefully we could reach back to the levels of resistance that we had in the field, which is about 0.0266. But before we reach this level, we will have to break this level here before creating the demand level at these areas 0.0238, breaking out of these zones, retesting back here at creating a support, and seeing volume also increase is very critical that we see volume increase in the next coming hours for JASMY in order for us to break this side and go back to the upside at about 0.0258. Just keep in mind, if we do break this level of 50 MA and also a level of critical support that we have here, we could see a retracement back, a little bit of a retracement back to the levels of demand that we have here at about 0.0226 at these levels here, since we saw some reaction, a lot of reaction happening at these levels. And also we see the gaps here. You see these big imbalance that we see here? These gaps might be coming back again to fill in these areas. Just expect here a retracement if we do go to the downside, and also expect a price to respect these levels at 0.0249 for creating a support, and then hopefully going back up to 0.0257. Quick update on JASMY. I hope you guys liked the video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care.